Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone will be fine, and welcome back to the part number 5. So in this video I'm going to explain to you how we can edit the image, right? So just want to go through the things that we have done already. So if I just click on the save post, you have also learned that how we can add the validation for the image. Now if I just try to add the image, we can also have the preview for this image. So if I click on the save post, and we have the alert, right? So that shows that the image is saved successfully. So you see that we have learned a lot of different things in this whole series, and not only we have learned about the CRUD, but we also learned about the validations and some alerts with the help of suite alerts, right? So let's jump into the edit functionality. So first thing I'm gonna do here is, once I click on the edit button, so this is gonna open up a new page for us, and we can edit the image and show the preview of the image for the edit, right? So let's go and do this first. Alright, so I have already opened my VS Code, so make sure you have your VS Code open and your server running, and in my case already running, right? So let's go inside your resources, views, and we have our index.blade.php, and we have to create here a separate file which is for the edit.blade.php. So let's first create that, and so edit.blade.php. Alright, so here inside edit.blade.php, I need to do almost very much identical thing what I've done. So I'm just going to copy that all and just paste it all inside the edit.blade.php. Make sure whatever you have inside your index, it should be the same, right? So very few changes that I need to do here is, definitely we are not going to save the post, we are going to update the post. So just first change the text to save to the update, and we need to edit the post, so we can also change that to be update underscore post underscore btn. Alright, so just change that, and now what happened is, if I just try to change that, because I have already given one class, so just make this and just add another class of custom underscore btn. So because I have used save underscore post underscore btn class for style.css, so I need to make that same. So if I just try to, first we have to create a route for this, so let's first create the routes. So I need to go to my routes web.php, and let's create here the edit route for this. So go underneath that, and let's create here the route of get, and here inside that let's pass here edit slash, and we are basically editing on base of the ID. So because I need to, definitely we have to update the separate post according to the ID. So I just pass here an ID and the name of the controller, which in my case is post controller. So just copy that, and let's give it the name of the method, which is added, right? That's fine. Alright, so let's go inside your post controller and create here the edit function. So let's go inside your app, HTTP controllers, and post controller, and just underneath that function let's create here a public function and give it the name of the function, which is added, and here let's pass here the return view added, right? That's it, and saves it. So once I'm going to save that, and one more thing that I need to do, because we are editing on based of the ID, so I need to pass that ID inside the edit function. So let's pass that, and I need to use here, with the help of allocate, we can fetch the ID. So I'm going to use my model post and find. So this is going to find the ID, so let's pass inside that, and that's it, right? So we can simply pass this ID with the compact or the width. So let's use here width, and pass here the post and $post, and because actually I need to pass this ID as well as inside my edit, so we can pass it to the Ajax function, so we can update the post, right? So I need to add this as well, and we need to show inside my edit.blade.php, I need to show here the preview for the image which I need to update. So I don't need this image for the placeholder now in this case, so I need to pass here something. So just remove this for now. I need to go to my directory which I have, where I have my images saved already. So let's gonna show you what I'm talking about. So if I go to my public storage, post. So these are all the images which are already saved, and on base of the ID I need to get the image and show the preview of the image which I need to update. So for this I need to do a few changes here. So let's first give it the path of the folder, which is storage slash and the name of the post folder slash, and I need to fetch the image dynamically. So let's pass here post dash image. So basically this post is coming from the controller that I passed, right? So that's it, right? And I also need to pass here the ID. So let's go right after the form tag and change that to input of type of hidden, because we need to again update on based of the ID. So let's give it the name of ID, even though I don't need the name. So let's pass here the ID which I need, and pass the value, and let's give it the ID of $post dash ID, right? So that ID is coming from the controller. All right, so let's first change that. I just need to change the form ID. So let's change that to update post form. All right, and that's fine, right? And we already changed that update underscore post underscore btn, and I hope there is no need for that table. So just remove that for now, and that's it, right? So let's have a look and see. If I go and refresh my page, I need to create here the route for the edit. So I need to first go to my custom.js. So let's go inside my custom.js, which I have inside my public assets and JavaScript and custom.js. So you see now we have our hash, right? So we need to navigate to the edit button. So for that I need to create here a link. So in order to create a link, I just need to remove that hash, and let's create here the link of edit slash, and we are passing the ID. So I need to get with the help of dollar and with the help of jQuery, and we can simply pass that ID with, and we can easily route to the next page, right? So basically this element.id is the ID for an individual post. So we just pass it to the route. And just like web.php, we have the edit slash ID, and we have now edit slash the dynamic ID. I hope it makes sense to all. So let's go back and refresh this and see. All right, so I refreshed this. Once I hover on it, and even though I just want to check this out, I refresh this, but it's not going. Let me inspect this out, and yeah, we have href slash, but it's still not moving to the page that I need to move on. So yeah, I need to create here an anchor tag, actually, not the button. So just change that to, or we can do here is that's fine. Okay, just change that to anchor tag. And now if I go back and refresh this, and now if I hover on it, you see now it's passing the dynamic ID, right? So first click on this ID, and there we go. Now what actually I did here is, you see that button is different from the button that we have in our save case. So I need to make this, I need to just do some styling, do some changes for my button. So I need to go to my edit.blade.php, just copy that custom underscore btn and make that a one for everyone, right? So style.css, and I need to just make this as a class to custom underscore btn, and just add everything here. Just remove this, and let's also pass it to the index.blade.php, and I need to pass the class right up here, so that both have to be, so both have the same styling, right? So now if I go back and also refresh here, and now we both have the same CSS, right? Okay, now if I click on this image, now make sure that it should be same. So the image, what I passed up here. So if I go to my edit, so the images remain the same. So on based of ID, we are also fetching the image preview, right? So that's fine, that's awesome. Now the next thing that I need to see, I just want to check my console. It says get underscore post. Let's go into the preview and ID of non-object. Okay, we can see that, and let's move into the next portion for the update functionality, right? So I just want to close that custom.js, and that's fine. Okay, post controller. So I need to create a function first inside my custom.js. So I need to, once I click on this button, actually index.play.php, which is the update underscore post underscore btn, I need some event to be functional, right? So for that, just right after the function of handle errors, I need to create here a function that will have a click event. So let's create here dollar and dollar document dot on click. So I'm going to use here on click, which is update underscore btn post underscore btn. I also need to add here the click event. So click and pass comma here. That's fine. Now I need to pass here the function with the event, and that should be e. And I need to do here is to stop the function, so we have to use here e.prevent default. So we use that. Next we have to get the form ID, just like we did on the our save case. So let's pass here document dot get element by ID, and we have to grab the ID. So the ID that I passed here inside my edit, so just copy that and paste it here and pass the ID. And next I need my form data. So in order to get the form data, we have to pass in new form data, and let's pass here my form, right? Okay, so we have to create here a function as well with the name of upload. Let's create the name of the function. So upload post, and just pass here the form data. So form data. All right, so we have to create here the function. Let's create here the upload, or I should change that to update post. Yeah, that makes more meaningful. So copy this update post, and let's create here a function down underneath that. So right after that, I'm gonna create here a function with the name of update post, and I need to pass here the form data that we have passed inside the function. So with having, I need to set up my headers. So you can do you can pass header very simply, just in order to avoid the errors for the mismatch token. So it's very simple. So you need to pass it Ajax setup and add the headers, which includes the CSRF token and the attribute content that we pass inside our master.blade.php. Let me show you real quick. So layouts master.blade.php. So this is basically the CSRF token. That's how we can pass to the attribute. Okay, so these are the headers, and now let's pass the ID which we have set up. So const ID is equal to dollar, and let's pass here the ID. Oops, what happened actually? Yeah, dollar ID, and we need to get its value. So let's pass that, and now we need to set up our Ajax function. So $.ajax, and that Ajax method have the type, which is post, and we need to pass here. Next we have to pass the data, so form data, and data type of JSON. So JSON, and we need to pass the content type of false. And next I need the cache false. So these are very helpful parameters, especially when you are using form data. So you don't need to, we are basically making those extra credentials to be false in order to avoid the caching and everything, right? And now I need to also make my process data to be false. And now next thing we need to pass here the URL, which I haven't created yet. So let's name that to be update underscore post, and we also need to pass the ID. So use a slash, and with the help of ID we concatenate the ID, and after that we are using the success function, and with the help of function we are passing the data. And next, after that, we have to check if that if the status is successful, which we are going to do next. So if the data is successful, then show the custom message which we have already passed in our form. Let's copy that and we can pass this message. So it's very much similar to the update, despite of we are updating on based of the ID. So let's pass here the show the custom message, and on the other case, if it's not successful, we need to pass the some show custom errors, and right after here I need to pass it the error function. So error function, and let's pass here as well the show custom error, right? So just grab this from the data.error and passed it right here, and as well as for the error function something went wrong, so in case if we have some server errors, right? So that's fine, that's awesome. Okay, so we need to now create this ID inside our web.php. So let's go into the update underscore post, and inside the route create our very first route for the post request. So let's so I need to do here is, once I try to edit, you see we already have the route for the edit. If I click on the edit, you see we have added. Now after that there's an ID slash. So in order to do it, I need to first give it the edit slash update underscore post slash and the name of the ID that I need to update. And next I need to create here the name of the controller, which is post controller, and I need to pass here the method name. So use here add the rate update, just give it the method name of update, right? So let's go inside my controller for the image controller, sorry, post controller. So let's write here function of update, and need to pass here the request. So dollar request and the ID. I need to grab everything similar what we have inside my, despite of that we don't need to create a new object for the post model, so we need to update it. So right after that I need to pass here with the help of eloquent, again we can pass and find the ID. So post find ID, and that's it. All right, so everything is similar to what we have done already, right? So we can easily update it and just change that message to be post updated successfully. All right, now I hope that we are good to go, and let's have a look and see. Now if I just try to refresh this, yeah, I just want to see what actually is. So I actually, that is just because we are on our edit page and we don't have the we are not actually getting the response for the get underscore post, which you see that we have all the data, but on our next route, which is the edit, and that page doesn't have this get underscore post request, so we can avoid that later on. I'm going to do this after that. So let's try to update it and see. Now if I just grab this image, click on the update post, it says post updated successfully. If I try to refresh this, this is going to remain the same. All right, so I hope we are very much it. So also try to make sure we have this image. Now if I just try to again update that and change that to, let's grab the image, right? That's the thumbnail for this tutorial. All right, so now if I go back and refresh this, and there we go, right? So we are good to go. We have already updated it. We have already worked with the update post. All right, so in the next video, I'm going to explain to you that how we can avoid this error on based of this route. We don't need to pass the get underscore post. And very last thing that we are left with is the delete functionality. All right, which is very simple. I hope you guys So please don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and I hope this video will help you to understand the main basic every single concept for the image uploading, CRUD, all functionalities. So that's it, right guys? So let's see you in the last part of the whole series.